Hey, what's up you guys? It's Zach with PCBros. Today we're going back to the super budget build guides here. I'm going to show you how you can build a $600 gaming PC even here in mid to late 2025. Now this PC will be a little bit of a throwback. This was pretty much the meta build of the last couple years before getting into 1080p gaming. So this will be a very exciting build to go over. You can still recreate this one really easily. I made sure to pick all new parts that are easy to get on Amazon right now. So yeah, let's go ahead and break it down and let's get right into it. Starting off on the spec list, for the CPU, we went with one of the most popular budget options, especially of the last year or so. This is the Ryzen 5 5500 with 6 cores and 12 threads for about $70. This CPU is a good option if you're just looking to get into PC gaming, still get an enjoyable experience that is comparable, if not better, to console. This CPU is probably the bare minimum of what you want to go nowadays to still get an enjoyable, decently high FPS with 1080p. Now we paired the CPU with the RTX 3050 6GB, and I know not everyone's the biggest fan of them, but to get this 2-fan card for still just under $200, and this is new on Amazon, it's really hard to beat this budget. You can switch out this GPU with some other options if you would like. It does make for a pretty convenient GPU, especially for this build, and staying right around $600. For the motherboard, I did choose a pretty budget motherboard here, the B450M HDV. This is basically just everything we need, nothing more. It doesn't really have that great of an upgrade path, but for $70, we're building a PC that will get us away from console, get us into that PC gaming experience for a decent price here. Now, one of the big benefits of PC gaming is the ultra fast NVMEs that you can put in for really cheap. For about $55, we have picked up the Crucial P3 Plus 1TB NVMe. Now for the RAM, this is the Ollie DDR4 16GB kit, so 2 sticks of 8. This is 3200 megahertz. Pretty popular for this time period of specs where 3200 megahertz was kind of the thing. This can be had for about $35 and will run just about anything we want within reason. Now for the power supply, we went with the Budget King, the Secotep 650 watt 80 plus gold. These are great for about $60 and have been really reliable for us in the past. And to cool this build, we went with the budget friendly ID cooling tower cooler, the SE214XT. This is still under $20 and a must have if you're building a budget gaming PC in 2025. Now to house all of these parts, I have chosen the Thermaltake Versa H18. You might recognize this case. This was a very popular case, especially for us in having a PC selling business. For the past couple years, we've been using this case a lot, and there is not a lot of downsides. You're not going to get the RGB. It only comes with one fan, but it has everything we need to get started here for this specific build. It should do just fine, and the basement has a lot of extra space. So using the Secotep 650 watt that is not modular, we're gonna have a lot of extra cables, so they're gonna just fit really nicely there. There's no caddies in the basement, so there's plenty of room, and it looks pretty good. Now that we've gone over the specs, let's cue the build montage. All right, now for my favorite part, the benchmark section. We're going to be benchmarking 3 different games here in 1080p, and I just went with medium settings for all the games to get a baseline of what this system can handle. It really does still hold up. In Rainbow Six Siege X, so the latest version, on medium settings 1080p, this is just basic preset medium, we were getting well over 100 FPS. If you weren't too interested in high refresh rate, you can even turn the settings up even more. High is not going to be a problem in this game, and you'd probably still get about 100 FPS. But if you're interested in getting a high refresh rate 1080p monitor with this system, you can definitely do so in the right games. I mean, the more demanding games, like we'll see later in the benchmarks, it might not be as possible, but it still might be worth getting one anyway, especially if you wanted to upgrade the GPU down the line. This system, how it is right now, is doing pretty dang well. And this is my first time benchmarking the new Siege X update with the benchmark tool. And even though it's an older game, it's still a good benchmark for these budget systems just to see how they hold up over time. Same goes for CSGO 2. Even though it's an older game and a newer, I guess, updated version of it, medium settings is still looking very good with well over 100 FPS. So these esports like first-person shooters, you're probably going to be able to benefit from a higher refresh rate monitor and get a pretty solid high quality PC gaming experience for around 600 bucks. And if you just invest that little extra money into a nicer monitor and then get decent peripherals, you can get a super solid PC gaming experience here in 2025 for less than $1,000 all in. Maybe I'll do a video on that later down the line. Let me know in the comments if you want me to do a full gaming setup with a budget PC like this, so you can see exactly what you can get for less than $1,000 getting into PC gaming in today's market. Now, this last game that I benchmarked is more demanding. Forza 5, even though it is an older game, it does push that GPU a lot more. So on medium settings, we are staying around 100-ish FPS, where it dips down to about 90 in the single player kind of games. This is very playable. If you did not have the FPS counter up, you probably wouldn't even notice that it was dipping below 100 at all. It would just feel nice and smooth gameplay. So keep that in mind on more demanding games. If we tested some of the latest AAA titles, you're probably going to want to stay around medium settings on this PC for just about every AAA title. There's probably certain super high demanding titles that you could probably get away with lower settings, but if you are really into esports titles that aren't really as graphically demanding, high settings is very possible as well for 1080p. But I personally like that middle ground, medium settings, high refresh rate, to get some of the best that PC gaming has to offer today. Now, what y'all think? Do you think this PC is a pretty good deal still? This was basically the meta for the past couple years, but do you think this PC is a little too outdated for 2025? Let me know in the comments down below. I thought it would be kind of cool to bring out a PC like this just to show that it is still possible to get a high quality PC gaming experience for less than $1,000. But obviously there's some better ways to do it. There's some more optimal ways. I'll be exploring the 50 series as well as the latest AMD as well in some later build guides. As some older generation hardware, this is not doing too bad, and I think you can still have a pretty good time, especially if you're not into playing the latest Call of Duties and stuff. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.